going to look at the icons that are present in the outliner. So when you open up Blender, in the outliner here, you'll see that there are icons next to the objects. So the icon, the eye icon, like the eyeball looking icon, is the visibility of the object in the 3D viewport. So for example, this cube, if you toggle it off, you will not see it in the viewport. However, it's still visible in render. And to render the scene, you could go to render on the menu here and click on render image or press F12. And you'll still see that it's visible in the render over here, even though it's not visible in the 3D scene. To make it invisible in the render, you have to take off the icon or toggle off the icon of the camera icon here of the object. So that when you go to render image, it's not visible in the render. And the render looks through the camera, right? So if you want to see the camera, look through the camera, you press 0 on the number pad on your keyboard, and this is what it sees. So you could turn it on the object in the viewport by toggling on the eye icon. So you see it in the viewport. However, if the camera icon is still toggled off, if you go to render, you will not see it in the render. And you can press 0 on the number pad to go back to your user view. I could drag a corner over here. So here in this 3D viewport, I'll press 0 so you see through the camera, while I could move through the 3D scene in the other viewport. I could select this cube, go to Object, Duplicate Object. I'll press the right mouse button to cancel a grab or to move the cube. Then I'll select it. Well, I'll use the move manipulator to move it to the side here. So in the camera view over here, you'll see that they're both visible. And I'll make sure both render icons are on. So if I go to render image, you'll see them both. To change the color in the viewport, you could select the object, but it won't change the render object. You have to change the material, so I won't do that at the moment. What I could do is show you if this object has the camera off for the render, even though you see it in the viewport. If I go to render image, you will not see it in the render here. And vice versa. If you put that one on, take this and take off the camera for render image, you will not see the other object render. There's also a shortcut to hide objects in the viewport. If you select the object, instead of pressing the eye icon, while you're in the viewport, have it selected, press the H key and it'll toggle off the visibility. If you have it selected and you want to turn it back on, you hold Alt H and it'll turn it back on, the visibility in the viewport. Now I'm going to right click on this, say join areas, put that back. I could select this object, and what I'm going to do now is toggle if it's selectable or not. How that works, right now you only see icons for the viewport visibility and the render visibility, but there are more icons. In the outliner, there's this filter button here, you drop down. If you click on it, you could choose what you want to show up in the outliner that you could toggle on and off. And this arrow key is if an object is selectable. So if I click that, then this icon will show up in the outliner. As well as you could turn off, for example, if you don't want to show viewport visibility, you could take it out. I'm going to keep it, so I'll turn that on. So right now here, you see that you get this arrow that indicates if an object is selectable or not. So if I click cube.001 object, it's selectable in the viewport. However, if I toggle off the selectable icon, this is no longer selectable in the viewport, whereas the other objects are. To turn it back on, you will have to toggle this back on, and now it's selectable. Even if you toggle it off and you select it in the viewport, you still cannot move it or rotate it or manipulate it or scale it. You'll have to toggle it, the selectable on, and have it selected, and then you can move it, rotate it, or scale it again. Like that. So you could isolate select by pressing the slash key on the number pad and toggle it back. Sort of the slash key, what it does is isolates only what's selected. It's not hidden, it's just that you just isolate what you see in the viewport. And you could press it again to go back to see everything. And you could press it either the slash key on the number pad or the slash key next to the shift key on the right shift key. It's on the left of the right shift key at most keyboards, most American layout keyboards. And you'd also isolate select. And you can go back. Another way to do it is instead of the hotkey, you could do it through the menus, which if you're in the 3D viewport editor here, they have the menus up here. If you go to view, it's called local view and toggle local view. As you can see, his number pad, the slash key, that will also toggle the local view. And if you want to go back, same thing, view, local view, number pad, slash, or choose local view in the menu there, and you'll see everything once again.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.